Today we're cooking a tri-tip like a brisket. Low and slow, 200 degrees final temperature, completely opposite of any way I've ever cooked a tri-tip. I've never cooked a tri-tip prior to this past medium, 130 degrees, 135 degrees. I hope you enjoy the video and give it a shot. If you like what you see, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. That'll let me know that you're enjoying what you're seeing, and I'll keep doing it. The plan is to share videos every week of my successes and my failures and let you know what I've done. Today we're going to try something extra special. I'm going to cook tri-tip as if it was a brisket. So I'm going to put the same sort of seasonings on that I would normally put on a brisket. We're going to low and slow this thing. The whole cook's going to take 6 to 7 hours. And it should fall apart just like a brisket. Now, if you look at this meat, these are brisket cuts I got from the local butcher. We've got a good fat cap on this. I'm hoping that that means we've also got good fat inside, because the tri-tip is a little bit leaner than brisket, but we want to have a lot of fat in there. All right, we're gonna prepare this brisket, this tri-tip just like we would a brisket. Put a little binder on there. I like to use mustard. Doesn't hold any flavor when it cooks, and it does a good job of holding on to the seasoning. Oh, that is a good cut of meat. We're gonna be good. So, for the spices that I'll be using, regular kosher salt, liberal amount of it. Coarse black pepper. And for my garlic flavor, I'll be using the red garlic seasoning. It's got a little bit of jalapeno in there. Give it a little bit of kick, nothing too crazy. We're gonna flip these and do the same thing on the other side. Just like we talked about, we'll get this back side. Now this is the fat cap, and we're gonna put this fat cap down. I think that ought to protect the meat from becoming too dried out on the bottom where it's gonna be closest to the heat. Liberal application of salt. Back to our pepper. Put some of that garlic seasoning, red garlic. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a couple minutes while the smoker gets to temp. I'm gonna be running the Pit Boss at 225. I'm gonna put these on until we get an internal temperature of about 170, 180. Then I'm gonna wrap them in butcher paper, just like I would with a brisket. I'm gonna put them back on, and we're gonna run these until they're 200 degrees internal. We've got the Pit Boss running at 225 now. We're gonna go ahead and put these on. I'm gonna run probes in both of them because I'm not really sure how the temperature is gonna hold up in this. Fat cap down. We're gonna let these things run for probably the next 3 or 4 hours till we get up to that initial temperature for the stall, and then we'll wrap them. We hit internal temperature about 165 to 170 in a couple different spots here on the tri-tip. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull them off and put them on some butcher paper, actually some peach paper. And if you look at this, what you'll see is there's lots of different brands of this. I just ordered this stuff off Walmart, but it's a wax-free butcher paper. So it will allow the meat to get out of the stall and get to that 200 degrees, but without putting any impurities on the meat. So let's go ahead and pull these out and I'll show you how I wrap them. They're looking pretty good right here. Put that right back on. Get our next one wrapped. We're gonna go ahead and put the probes back in. And we're looking for, again, an internal temperature around 200 when this is done. Then I'll pull them and let them set. See you in about 2 hours. Before we move on, you may be wondering, why do we need to wrap meat when it hits 165 to 175 degrees? Some people even wait until 185. The reason is this: when meat hits 160 to 170 degrees, it starts to sweat. Juices from inside the meat go to the outside of the meat. It starts to boil out. As that moisture gets on the outside of your meat, it evaporates. Evaporation equals cooling. It keeps the meat from being able to get past that temperature to that 200, 205 temperature you're looking for. You wrap it in some peach paper, and that holds that moisture in just enough to allow you to get past it. It's the difference between having a 6 or 7 hour cook and a 9 or 10 hour cook. It just speeds that process up. If you don't have any butcher paper, you can always use tin foil. It will soften the bark a little bit more, but it will still hold that moisture in and allow it to get past the stall. We've hit an internal temperature of 200 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off, let them sit in a cooler for about an hour, let all that meat really get back into the meat, and we'll see how this goes. The tri-tips had a chance to rest for about an hour. We're gonna go ahead and open this up and see what we've got. That does look good. Look at that. It is so tender. Let's see how our cross pieces look. Oh yeah. Let's try us a little bite of that. Oh, that's good. Might be one of the best tri-tips I've ever made. See, lots and lots of juice, good color. This is going to be a great eating experience. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe. We'll continue to bring you more videos of different cooks that we're trying. This is an opportunity for you to learn from my mistakes. I will show you my failures, but I'm also going to show you my successes. And tri-tip, cook like a brisket, is now my new favorite way to cook tri-tip, and I will continue to do that. So give it a shot. Low and slow, 200 degrees, pull it off, let it set. You can't go wrong.